Why are you coming for my girl Pinky doll?
Listen, I love Pinky, and I love every. I've never.
Oh, thank you, Timberland. Ice cream, so good. Slurp, slurp, slurp.
Oh no!
Pop, pop, pop. Gang, gang. Anyway,
welcome to Keep It, Crooked Media's show about pop culture and politics and what happens when they smack into each other at an alarming speed. I'm your host, Ira Madison III, a television writer and Fall Out Boy fan.
I'm Louis Bertel. I'm a TV writer and Jane Fonda historian.
Let's get into it.
And we are back with an all-new episode of Keep It. I'm Ira Madison III, and the white boy's on strike. He heard WGA strike, SAG strike. Louis and I are in both, and he said, let me get the fuck up out of here. I'm tired of you hoes, deuces. Anyway, I'm kidding. As we said last week, Louis is out, and in his place, I have a wonderful guest co-host, the hilarious Jurden.
Hello, thank you for having me. Oh my gosh, so excited to be here.
This is like the Barbie and Ice. I'm Nikki, your Ice Spice.
Wait a minute. First of all, thank you for thinking I'm young. That makes me so happy. Thank you for thinking that I grab my coochie in public as much as she does. Thank you for thinking that like I can blow up and sometimes still be out of breath when I perform. Thank you. Thank you for all of those things. And you know what? Hell yeah, this is Princess Diana. This is what's going on right now. But also, shout out to Louis. I'm sorry for the loss of your grandmother, but also thank you for letting me fill in this spot for a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I think we've talked about you on Keep It before.
I heard. Someone said they were talking about you on Keep It. I got worried, then I listened. I was like, you didn't say compliments. You just said, girl.
The streets are talking.
The streets are talking.
First of all, who does that? I feel like who is like, I hate when people give you a message without context, right? That's when like people, this is like a friend or somebody texts you like, can we talk?
Or have you seen this?
Right. I'm like, what? What's going on? Because can we talk is very dark.
To be fair, they followed up very quickly that they were praising me. So I was like, okay. Then I listened. I was like, that was right. But also, it's very, I think it's very kind of serendipitous because that was concerning GLAAD Media Awards, which it was me versus Louis, and now this week, last week it was announced, it's my show versus Louis' show again, and he left a very rude comment on my Instagram post.
Wait, what did he say?
He basically said that he would throw a tantrum if we won an Emmy.
Well,
joke's
as we
on
all
you.
know, you work at The Problem with Jon Stewart.
I do.
And Louis works at Jimmy Kimmel.
Yes, and they're friends.
I love both shows, and they are, of course, they're friends. You know, they come from like the old Comedy Central days, etc. They were running the streets together, but
wait a second, John and Jimmy were running the streets.
Well, I mean, like Jimmy was on Comedy Central, wasn't he? Like
was,
the Man Show.
What? We don't bring it up. We don't bring it up.
We can bring up the Man Show. We just don't bring up that other nigga who was on the show. We don't bring up him. Jimmy has his number blocked, I'm sure. But, you know, John was on The Daily Show back then, too. So I felt like they was running the streets.
Yeah, and John guest starred, I think, on the live version of Facts of Life that Jimmy produced. This was Louis's message. You fuckers beat me for a GLAAD award, and if it happens again, I'm bursting into tears on Hollywood Boulevard. Parentheses, congrats, exclamation point.
Well,
so, very sweet.
Spoiler alert. It's probably going to happen. What? Emmys, we're going to talk about the Emmys this week, by the way.
But you know what's not going to happen?
What?
The Emmys, girl.
We're going to talk about the Emmys and the strike this week and why the Emmys probably will not be happening. But I do just want to say, like, you know, Jon Stewart is, who else is nominated against you? Is it John Oliver?
No, because it's variety. So it's talk, not variety. Which there's a
because they love giving it to John Oliver.
And you know what? I'm so happy for all of my peers and friends and WGA members who are on strike but have Emmys from John Oliver. Shout out to all y'all. Ryan Ken, they got their first Emmy last year. I love that. So,
I could have an Emmy.
Okay.
Because, I was interviewed to be a writer on The Daily Show once. Trevor Noah did not hire me, but in a sliding doors universe, I have several Emmys.
I went for the first time last year to the Creative Arts Emmys. Some people call it the Schmemmys. It's still the real Emmys. You still get the hardware.
Who hosts it? Who hosts it? Probably like
everybody. No. Who hosts it? It is
probably Pinky Doll from TikTok. Like the gang ice cream is so good. She's probably hosting it.
No, they have a stick that they pass around. That's the talking stick at the Creative Arts Emmys, and whoever's holding the conch shell gets to speak.
It's Lord of the Rings over there. Sorry. It's Lord of the Flies over there.
Girl, it is Lord of the Flies because we were children.
I'm excited to have you here in the studio. That's it feels like a New York link.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it is the worst weather imaginable in New York.
Woo.
Right now, it's hot as hell.
Listen, I'm from Mississippi. Mississippi heat has traveled up the East Coast. The Mississippi humidity did the Great Migration this summer. It went up to New York, and it's staying. It is just a hug outside. It's nasty.
It's the kind of weather where, you see everybody black has a towel on the subway to dab themselves. People have the towel on their head in between their it's the head, it's the towel.
We all
and then it's the snapback. You have to keep the snapback dry, so you have a hand towel.
Like Big Pun and Fat Joe. We all have a towel, a baseball jersey, a wife beater, and some shorts.
All right, so we're going to talk about the Emmys this week, the nominations. We're going to talk about the strike. SAG-AFTRA has joined the WGA on strike. We're going to talk about that. But as you all know, that means, the guests that we have on the show, these actors can't be coming on to promote anything anymore. Guys, unfortunately, we had Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie booked this
Tom
week.
Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise booked this week, but none of them could make it this week. And, you can't confirm or deny if I'm lying. So it's believable that one of them would be on Keep It. I'm gonna let y'all try and figure out who is believable, but
I would say Gosling. I think Gosling would come on here.
He would.
He's fun.
Yes.
He you know what he would do? He would come, he'd promote the movie, and he'd probably he'd sing a little Jodeci from back in the Mickey Mouse Club days. I think he'd do something out of the box.
They really had them singing grown-ass songs on that show.
Songs about fucking. Wait a second. Why is a 12-year-old saying, "So you're having my baby"?
Christina Aguilera singing Whitney's "He's All the Man I Need."
Wait a second.
What man? Let's talk about the homework.
Yes. You better open up your Lisa Frank. Don't come to me.
Also, you can imagine if Ryan Gosling were on the show this week, I would just be asking him about Young Hercules and Breaker High and just staring into his blue eyes and being like...
Ask him about Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
That's a trajectory.
Yes. Be like, you sure you want to play House of Eva? Come on. Come on.
He's a good man,
Come on. My son need a new pappy.
No.
Anyway, we have the fantastic Tori Kelly here.
Woo woo.
Talk about a singer with vocals.
Let's actually talk about it, because when you look up anyone trying to do fun covers of songs, when you look at anyone with that much control, with that much precision with their instrument, and a person who is always there, just always on the periphery being like, girl, what's going on? Oh shit, you got something new? I love Tori Kelly. My husband loves Tori Kelly so much. When he found out, he was like, so I was like, you can't come. You can't come. It ain't that kind of gig. First of all, it's Zoom. So don't.
Why are you denying your husband, Tori Kelly?
No. I love Tori Kelly. Also, and you bring this up almost every week. You talk about somebody black folks love.
Yes.
Now, you said Paramore last week in Fall Out Boy because of Babyface and because of a number of, and the Haley Williams connection to Mississippi and the church. But black people love Tori Kelly. And guess what? Them 23andMe results came back. And now we know why.
Yes. Okay. Her pappy.
It also was very funny because black people were like, girl, you didn't have to take that test. What?
We know.
I see your curl pattern.
We do. We do. You have an open invite to the BET Awards.
Standing invitation.
Anyway, once again, me talking like I'm on SNL. We got a great show for you this week. Tori Kelly is here. We'll be right back with more Keep It. All right, as you should know by now, the members of SAG-AFTRA decided that the picket lines needed some hot people.
You're a hot writer. I'm a hot writer. Don't do that to us.
But we're in SAG and the WGA.
Okay, now we do get into the specifics of it.
Okay.
Where is my hotness coming from?
So now we are all on strike. And for the next few months will not be a picnic. What is in store for Hollywood? We're going to talk about that. But first, let's get back to that question, though.
Okay.
Everyone's always making the memes online about SAG joining the WGA. And then, there's always some writers being like, we're hot, too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yes, there are hot writers.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them.
Okay.
And I don't want to cause controversy, but if you are a writer who is not also in SAG, if you are hot, you are usually not a white man who is straight.
It's just very funny because a lot of writers, particularly in my corner of the WGA, we're talking about comedy writers, we're talking about late night writers. There was for the longest time an overwhelming majority of white men in hoodies year round, and that was just. I didn't say they were bad white men. I didn't say they were good white men. They were just white men who loved hoodies. Loved hoodies. They were wearing Asics before they came back this summer. You know what I'm saying? That sort of energy was in the rooms a lot. Some of those people, surprisingly handsome. Some of those people look like writers. Now, what's occurred because of the diversity of writers' rooms now is we have so many different beautiful black and brown people and people of color and women and queer people and trans people and non-binary people. And we have people that every now and then look in a mirror before they leave the house. And so it's hard for me to say, oh, the pickets finally got hot. But I will say this, they definitely got louder. Woo. Cause like the writers for the first couple of pickets, I was getting the bullhorn a lot. Okay? I was getting the bullhorn a lot, and it's because they needed rhythm and projection. And some people have one, not the other. Okay? But I'm expecting the strikes to be even more lit. So continue. Union strong.
Because you got everybody on the line now. You got day players, you got Law and Order SVU culprits, and then they're also mixing with like the big dogs. First of all, I was gonna say some people like Mark Ruffalo, but first of all, Mark Ruffalo's ass was out there even before SAG was striking.
It is very funny.
Mark Ruffalo sees a protest and he is like, "Let me get in it."
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo was out there for a while, and every now and then you see a person in New York who looks like Mark Ruffalo. Hand to God, it's usually him. If you bump into someone in New York that kind of looks like Mark Ruffalo, he's just out here. He goes to a lot of stores.
Can I tell you a Mark Ruffalo story?
Yes.
So you remember the election?
Yeah.
And he loves to get involved. There was a period where people were recording Instagram like videos, putting them on Twitter, whatever, about why they were voting for Joe Biden. I was pro Joe. Okay,
Yes.
I was in it to win it.
Well, because
I
yes.
was donating to Kamala Silk Press Fund.
That's not what it's called. That's not. He was donating to the Ski Week Fund. He was donating to the Laughing Gas Fund. She told Kiki she don't get a silk press. She says she just uses a hard brush. Which, let me tell you something. That is an older black woman lying to you and checking you.
Lying.
On
Okay.
camera. It's like one of your aunties being like, I never had sex with that man. Now, auntie, okay, you went on dates with him. He paid for everything. He took us on trips. You were sleeping with Mr. Calvin. I would never. I'm a woman of God. You never know. She just lied directly to Keke Palmer's face. And you know what, Madam Vice President, as is your right. I don't get a silk press. Come on, a hard brush.
Listen, speaking of ski-weeing, I'm going to get back to this Mark Ruffalo story, but speaking of ski-weeing, I heard the most ski-weeing of my life. First of all, my mom was Delta, so I was raised in a house with, a lot of red and elephant paraphernalia. Okay, I was like, okay, it's like Marco Polo's
Yeah, we
house
get
or
into
something,
Divine Nine talk on Keep It. This is what happens.
But the AKAs were out this past weekend because I was in LA for my dear friend Kelly Carter, her wedding. To her man, Moreno, who is fantastic. Kelly is an entertainment journalist. She's been in the game for a minute. Like, when I was at BuzzFeed years ago, my first job, like, she was my mentor there. But she, is repped Black Hollywood down, and they love and support her. So, the AKAs were strolling, doing the dance. First of all, the dance was cute. Okay?
It's always going to be cute.
The pinky up in the air.
Yes.
They were strolling at the wedding. But, when I tell you, this wedding had, Shantae Moore sang. First of all, we had to lock up our phones. So
Shantae Moore sang.
Shantae Moore sang. Tyrese gave a speech.
Okay.
Two of her best friends are Gab Union and Jamel Hill.
The phones were locked up. This is the beautiful tux photo.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Yes.
Olivia Munn and John Mulaney were there.
Okay.
And if you want to watch them watching AKA's ski-wee, it was worth the price of admission.
That's one of my favorite SNL sketches. The one with him where he is doing the cha-cha slide, or he's just doing a black line dance at a black function. It was akin to that, I would assume. Wait a second. Is that John Mulaney doing the wobble? Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a second. Is John Mulaney dancing to Pound Town? Is he getting his coochie scratched?
Yeah, sexy.
Wait a second. His booty hole is brown. Okay. All right.
Anyway, diversion over. Mark Ruffalo slides into my DMs because we used to follow each other on Twitter, before I was banned, etc. We don't have to get into that again. But he asked me, would you record a video saying why you're so excited to get out the vote for Joe Biden and post it? And I quietly left him on red.
Can I say, good on you.
Imagine if I made that damn video.
Good on you.
Y'all would be clowning me till I'm in the casket.
Oh, no. Yeah, you never want that video to exist forever so that people can save it and put it up whenever something happens.
Right.
People were they were like, oh, it was the South Carolina primary that did it when they're like, oh, why do black people like Joe Biden? And a lot of people had to understand, we're like, no, we understand worst case scenario more than some people. It was.
Right. Worst case scenario is, Trump is either going to jail or is going to become the United States of Trump.
Yeah. We will be like, oh, he's been on the throne for so long. I got to get back to the mines. But all hail God, Emperor, King, Trump. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you didn't make the video, though.
Thank you.
I think that black people publicly being able to make fun of Joe Biden is actually an indicator of our fondness of him.
Mm-hmm.
If we like you, we get to tease you a little bit. Just deal with it.
I have had to explain that to, as a person who's gone to some predominantly white schools and had some white friends, that is also a sign of love. Yeah. Because I'm like, when I'm like in a group text with my black friends, or we're hanging out, like, you will be shading each other, etc. If you can't take that, then I don't know what we're doing here.
People will see replies to tweets and be like, are y'all fighting? I'll be like, no, just a little key. We just pulling on each other's wigs a little bit. It's just a little
I just wanted to shift it a bit.
What's wrong with the bob? Nothing.
All right.
What, was Claudia Jordan at the wedding?
She was not.
Okay.
She was not. Some members of New Edition were.
Wait a minute. Which one?
I don't remember who.
Okay.
Essence Atkins was there.
Love Essence Atkins.
Yes.
Here's the wild part. So Essence Atkins, well, she was on Smart Guy. I think she was smarter than TJ. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be like kids can get in trouble. TJ almost got molested. Essence Atkins wasn't going to crazy folks' houses.
Yes, in that episode. Yes.
The older sister was smarter than the smart guy on the show. He was a genius, but that show to me also, we can talk about it because our FUBU jersey is going to come back. Because Mo always had like a FUBU jersey. They had like FUBU jerseys in the beginning, in like the show opening.
I love a FUBU jersey.
I love mesh.
I have a FUBU vintage jersey that I wear sometimes.
Don't say vintage.
I mean, like, it's old.
Yeah, it's 20 years old, but oh shit, it's vintage.
It's vintage.
I'm realizing this in real time.
Yes, old.
And someone wore a FUBU jersey to, oh my gosh, what movie just came out? The girl comedy.
Oh, Joyride.
Joyride. So Sabrina Wu, they're a very funny comedian. I saw them in Joyride, went to Williamsburg Cinema, and someone at that showing was wearing a FUBU jersey, and me and my friend were like, are we busting them back out? Are they back?
I want to wear a FUBU jersey on the picket line.
You should. I want the blue and gold one. I want a FUBU jersey. That's actually the next investment piece.
Okay. Yeah. Let's coordinate some FUBU on the line.
Yes.
Because I do need to get back on the picket line. I've been out of town so much.
You've been thugging with your rounds. Sexy. Okay, I know we're supposed to talk about this strike, but Sexy Red showed up at a middle school or a high school. The first thing she did was flick the kids off. Then she threw up bees because she banging a little bit. And then she was like, I'm here to give y'all haircuts and prom money. And then the school administrator was like, shut it down. Shut it down. They all stormed the court.
I talked about this on the show when it first came out, Pound Town 2 by Sexy Red, featuring Nicki Minaj, the remix, and about how this was becoming my song of the summer. It really is. I'm hearing this song everywhere. Pound Town is...
At weddings.
At weddings, graduations, funerals. Pound Town is an anthem. And to bring it back to what we're talking about, on the picket lines, the music needs to get better.
Yes.
Okay, so like if we're wearing FUBU and like bopping to Pound Town, there are more black actors than there are black writers. Mm-hmm. I think that really not talking about hot people influxing. There's going to be just an influx of, like niggas on the picket line.
Yes. And I'll say, I love you, Rivers. I love Weezer. But now they played one of the pickets. Let's switch it up a little bit.
Rivers Cuomo played a picket?
Yeah, Weezer was on one of the pickets. In LA, in New York,
they don't give a fuck about New York.
Let me tell you,
New York, we are on tiny ass sidewalks with people bustling past to get to work. Like, get the fuck out of my way. People don't walk in LA, so like you just get cars honking in support. And on New York, like people are walking past. Like, if you don't get the fuck out of my way, I am late to work.
When I tell you that New Yorkers just go, oh, that's crazy. Could you move? It's like, we were in Midtown a couple of weeks ago at a picket. There was a guy who, and I don't know why, he was wearing a strap on, but on his face, and he looked at us like we were crazy. I can't make this up. Writers, if you remember this and you're listening, it happened. So I think that like if New York needs some, we need a little bit of an injection of life into some of the pickets. I think the SAG-AFTRA strike definitely like emboldened numbers. I would like it if people knew how much food they were bringing. I don't want to make fun of Lin-Manuel Miranda, but I think he only brought like 6 donuts. No, I'm just... One of my friends said, and then Hamilton brought the other 51. But
meanwhile, you got Snoop giving like, Roscoe's to people in LA.
Food trucks. Yeah. Union strong, solidarity, as much help as you can muster, New York celebrities who aren't evil, I guess.
Yeah, come on, Sarah Jessica.
Yeah, and just like that, we could have some food. Oh, as a comic in New York City, I have not seen Che in a while, so I don't know where Che Diaz is. I haven't seen them at the Cellar. To me, it's like very funny that all the strike is happening and more kind of like discussions concerning wealth inequality and 1% and taking advantage of working people. All this is happening, and what the media does is they go, Bob Iger, what do you think of this? And it's like, don't ask him. First of all, Bob Iger, you should have lied. That was not smart. Just lie. If there's one thing I want them to take away from this, multimillionaires, lie more. Y'all haven't been telling the truth too much. David Zaslav, Bob Iger, just lie. Be like, we want this to be resolved. I'm going to try my best. That's like I do. You went on CNBC and said, it's unrealistic.
You know what it's like when you're in a fight with somebody, and it's like, the best way to resolve it, too, is like, even notes from like studio execs or something, right? Like we lie to them all the time, and they be lying to us. You just say stuff like, "Oh, absolutely, I'll change that," because it gets the things resolved.
Thank you for flagging that. Thank you for flagging that.
When you were stubborn though, and you're like, "I ain't doing that shit," well, then people get mad.
And you're not in a position where people are gonna take your side easily. That's the thing. If you're like, "Oh, I want this to happen. Oh, I'm trying my best. We're going to get through it. Oh, I really don't want to talk about that. Let's make sure we get these negotiations settled." But you were like, it's unreal. It's just not realistic, girl. What else do you want? Bob Iger, why'd you say that? And then the next day you were like, by the way, I think I want a new boat. And I don't care.
And by the way, I'm selling parts of Disney.
Yeah. You selling things for scraps? What's happening? Why are we splitting stuff up?
He's like, y'all striking? I'm going to get rid of FX.
No.
I'm going to get rid of Hulu.
No. Bob Iger put FX on his Instagram story and was like, who wants this?
I'm renting out FX for 2 weeks.
Oh, my goodness. He's on the Facebook Marketplace.
Let's talk about some of these rules, by the way, because as I said before, this is Keep It Strike edition, which means this is almost like when we had like the COVID episodes, like our at-home editions. Now this is a different version. In the COVID edition, we were getting like Jane Fonda popping on, like people coming on to promote their stuff because they were at home and they were bored. Now we have celebrities at home and bored, but they will not be coming on because they can not promote their work. SAG's rules are basically that you cannot do any promotion.
Nope.
Like interviews, promotions, publicity services for any struck companies is verboten.
Mm-hmm. Except for the Jesus of Nazareth show, apparently. That Jesus show got a waiver.
Did they?
Yes, they can
but who the fuck is in that show? Jim Caviezel?
No, it's not. It's a new Jesus show.
Oh, wait, is that the one on the CW?
Yes.
How did they get a waiver?
Look at God.
We can promote the Lord. We can promote the Lord.
Oh, my goodness.
That's one thing we will do.
In this house, WGA, I know about HIM, okay?
But you are allowed to just like be on podcasts and shoot the shit, I guess, which is fortunate because doesn't every actor in SAG have a podcast at this point anyway?
It is interesting because you can't promote something that is working with a struck company, but you can just be like, man, I saw this thing at the grocery store. You seen this? Like, you can just do that I mean, but also all these athletes have podcasts now. So like, there's just going to be, I think, an influx of people talking about other things since promotion of a lot of media is kind of like not going to be able to be done. And also like Instagram and TikTokers have a couple of specific rules. Some TikTokers are being stupid.
Okay, yes. Let's talk about that.
Some TikTokers are being dumb with a capital D.
Yeah, there was somebody with the name. There was somebody with the name like on TikTok. I think it was like Straw Goofy Hat.
It's Straw Hat Goofy. Which
is apt.
It's
an apt name.
Listen, here's the crazy part.
Francesca Ramsey been up in his
Shout out to
ass.
Francesca Ramsey, by the way. Because, ooh, baby, you have the time that a lot of us do not to handle some of these lightweights. So Straw Hat Goofy, which it's his name. It's a reference to One Piece. It's a reference to him enjoying anime. But girl, if you're going to say something stupid, change your name. Because now everyone is like, with your goofy ass. Your goofy ass. Everyone is like, okay, goofy. And you can't even be like, that's not what it means. You just have to be like, yeah, you're right.
It is wild to get on TikTok and be like some of the girls are doing and be like, well, you know what? If I get offered a job, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
I'm a scab.
Not only that,
and then be like, oh wait, I'm not a scab.
And to be like, I'm getting this bag. And then to be like, I would never accept the acting role. And then be like, I did some voiceover work and I was an actor in this one thing, but that was just for fun. And you're like, no, you don't get it. Stop speaking about it.
Basically, scabbing involves crossing a picket line. If you were a TikToker, an influencer, a drag queen, because, Jinx Monsoon, they just made a post about this on Instagram too. Like the studios are nasty bitches, which means they will get anybody else to promote the stuff that they have coming out. Because, like Barbieheimer, which comes out this week, like, that was Custer's last stand.
Yes.
That was Custer's last stand. There is no more, any other movie that is coming out now, there will be no red carpets, there will be no press junkets. The girls are they're not even posting, they can't even post on Instagram, like, go see the movie, okay? Like, I saw my friend Solomon Giorgio.
Yes.
He was a writer on
Survival of the Thickest. Producer
in an episode, I wasn't going to support it anyway because Michelle Buteau did not hire me, and I interviewed for the show. But
we love you, Michelle.
I love you, Michelle. I love you, Michelle. Michelle is so fucking funny.
So fucking funny.
And the show was great, but they can't promote it.
Nope.
They can't promote it. They can't talk about it, which is a shame, because like it's a shame that like it's affecting like a show like that too, because it's like a show, the kind of show that you want on the air.
Yeah.
Like it's not some like other Netflix nonsense,
And it was like the timing of it. It was truly like TikTok.
They should have pushed that shit up, to be honest. Because Barbie and Oppenheimer pushed their premieres up early because they were like, oh, this strike about to happen, we will be on the carpet.
And also, if you remember that video, Fran Drescher talked about part of the extension was that, are they going to renegotiate some of these terms? No, the extension was so that studios had another 2 weeks to promote and release movies so that there could at least be some sort of midsummer push for films. So they kind of like got away with it as well.
Let me tell you something. Tom got his movie out.
Listen. If we know anything about Tom Cruise, that shit coming out on time.
It will. But also, it came out today that like Tom was in the negotiations with the studios on the support of the actors, obviously, about like AI shit.
Yes.
Which Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is basically about like the evils of AI. So
also, let's not just say that movie. There's an entire subgenre of sci-fi that's just about the dangers of artificial intelligence and us playing coy with it.
Spielberg made a damn movie called AI.
Not just that, like the most famous movies are about this. Why are we, if I can be a nerd for a second, literal comic books are about this. This is a story that is very old and very well tried. Why are studios being like, just let's see what can happen? No. You want to save a digital Ira so that you can use it in perpetuity and then Ira never knows? So then you have him online talking shit about someone and he's like, I never said that about you, Azalea Banks. I didn't say that. That was digital Ira. You know what I mean? Then she's attacking him again? No.
I love how you put again.
Wait a been on Twitter for a little bit.
Still the funniest insult ever lobbied at me. I'm sorry. Podcast, the brokest form of media. She is funny as hell.
Girl.
I love Azalea Banks.
Get
her on the picket line.
Listen, no, I need her.
With the bullhorn.
With the bullhorn and the machete and a chicken and a cauldron and a pot and some hair and some incantations, some spells. I want some bruja. I want some magic. Dark magic, though. Let's put some curses on folks.
Yeah, because this shit needs to wrap up. My bills has been affected. I don't have the income coming in anymore.
Everything is getting pushed back. CBS is airing Yellowstone now this fall. A lot of streaming shows are going to be
Taylor
pushed.
Sheridan, because with his whole, he just had that profile too, where he's like, I write everything,
What?
because people don't know, the old West like I do. Like, okay, bitch.
First of all, you don't know the old West. What are you talking about?
And so he's the writer on every single fucking episode, which means he about to get some CBS residuals. You know what CBS is not doing? Re-airing So Help Me Todd, that damn show that I worked on.
Yes.
Because I want a residual check.
Yes. Yeah.
But they are re-airing Ghosts with the UK version of Ghosts.
Wait, what?
So because the networks ain't got shit to air. So their fall schedule includes reruns of Ghosts,
yes,
but also airing the UK version of Ghosts, which it was based on. So audiences can see the UK version paired with the American version. I don't know what the fuck that is going to do besides, if you was writing episodes of Ghosts, well, congrats on some new residuals.
CBS Viacom, why are you rummaging through your purse? You're like, no, I got it. It's in here. I know. Okay, just find the peppermint.
Re-air
okay?
Dallas.
Hopefully this strike is all a dream. I can't. Oh my goodness. It's so interesting also to hear people who enjoy the consumption of media and not necessarily understand kind of what you're describing is that some writers are going to make a shit ton of residuals because of the way networks have been set up. But if that would have continued on streaming, those residuals wouldn't have come in. They wouldn't be as necessarily as lucrative. So there are levels to this that also are affecting.
I got a residual check for the one CBS show that I did work on, and it paid my rent for a few months at the beginning of this year.
Did y'all hear that?
Okay, I got a residual check from
his bills are paid.
Well, I said for the first few months of the year. Okay, she's broke again because the residual check comes in for a Netflix show, and that will get me I don't know, a seat upgrade on JetBlue. Even more space.
Oh, you're not going fully to the front. You just go, okay.
Not mint.
Okay, all right. It's not a mint.
Not mint. Just some leg room. Extra carry-on.
No, because streaming residuals, part of that is the way that deals are set up. I mean, SAG-AFTRA released some information today that the studios basically don't want us to know as performers and as writers. They think that the way that shows end up being viewed, that data is IP, so they don't want to share that with us, because if they shared it with us, then we'd know how much we were supposed to be making based on how many people were watching.
And if they shared it, then their investors would also know how popular their shows really are. Because Netflix every week is always like, this is the most watched show on Netflix ever. And I'm like, what does that mean?
And they go, on a Thursday at this time slot this month. Today,
what does that mean?
No one has watched any more shows than this show today at this hour per our study.
Great. Then at this time of the week, at this point, how about you deposit some money in my bank account?
Exactly. Pay people for making. I mean, when I found out that Stranger Things was making huge amounts of money, and they're like, I don't think the writers are seeing any of that.
No,
they're seeing what they agreed to.
That article that came out about Orange is the New Black, about how they were broke.
Yes.
Working minimum wage jobs still while on the damn show, bartending.
Kimiko Glenn has those TikToks about it. She even did Waitress during that, or right after that. So, I mean, you hear these stories both from the acting side and from the writing side that people aren't being compensated, not only for their work, but for the halo effect of their work and for us boosting these streamers. And it really, I want people to understand.
People getting bonuses off of
performance.
I put this show on the air, but you haven't done shit. Why are you still, as an executive, continuing to make money off of a show for years when the people who created it, who acted in it, are like can't pay their bills.
They're doing us the way Puffy did Mace. I don't like it. I don't like it. Can't stop, won't stop.
They're pebbles.
No. Okay, it's so funny you bring it up.
Pebbles and TLC.
It's so funny you bring it up because when someone talking about the air quality, New York is smoky again. Yesterday I said, "Girl, Lisa done burned the house down." Toronto, why are you burning the house down?
When we're back, we're joined by the fantastic Tori Kelly. Our guest today brings to mind one of my favorite Whitney Houston quotes. I listen to singers. I very rarely listen to people who cannot sing. And our guest today has vocals, okay? She has been writing and releasing incredible music for over a decade now. She is back with a new album dropping on July 28th, my birthday. So I'm really excited about that. Appropriately titled Tori, please welcome to Keep It, two-time Grammy winner, the divine and celestial Tori Kelly.
Oh my goodness. That was the best intro ever.
And guess what? We meant it. We were talking about this before the podcast. We were like, listen, you talk about someone that can sing. And it's so cute that other people try.
Oh, stop.
Woo! Oh my, we're so happy to have you.
Thank you so much. You starting that intro with quoting Whitney Houston. I was like, wait, where is this going? That's amazing.
I listen to singers. Okay?
Yeah. I love it. That's a great quote.
And the new album has Missing You, which I
Yes.
love. Missing
Thank
You
you.
it's such a fun summer song. It's about kind of getting back into some mess that you thought you gone off that Riesling. What, Tori?
It could be interpreted that way, I guess.
Tori, what, you gone off that Riesling?
You know, there a lot of my songs, to be honest, I definitely write from a real place, but a lot of my songs, people don't realize they're also pulling from different stories, whether it's like a friend's experience or I kind of insert myself. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm happily married, like not missing anybody. But I could totally insert myself into that emotion. And actually it's funny because I sometimes just play pretend and think about like, oh my gosh, what if like me and my husband broke up or something? And then I can totally get into that world.
That's what good artists do.
Totally, yeah.
Storytellers.
Storytelling is a little bit of acting involved, but it's always coming from a real place, I think, which is kind of the through line of everything. But yeah, getting into some mess.
Because when I first heard it, because it's so popular online, but then also when the single was released, I was like, oh, this is good. This has like elements. It's like it's got fun build up. It's dancey. It's a fun summer song. It's still about love and longing and connection. But I was like, what is this about? Hold on.
Yeah. So there's also there's gonna be a Missing You remix as well.
Okay.
Yeah, right when I put it out, people were begging for like more of an R&B kind of spin on it. So we're like, might as well, because we were definitely I feel like with this song and a lot of the EP and the album, we were super inspired by like the Y2K. Like early 2000s R&B, late 90s R&B, but then also that kind of UK, like Craig David. I always feel like I'm saying it wrong. UK garage. Is that how we say it? It's like the first time I said it out loud.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm always typing it and I'm like, as an American, I'm like asking
Tori, I'm from Mississippi. He's from Milwaukee. We don't know.
y'all are the wrong people to ask. But I ask all my British friends, they're like, yeah, say garage, because that'd be weird if I was like UK garage. Like,
yeah, you better
anyway.
add some beans on toast, folks.
right. But I don't know why I felt the need to like justify myself just there. But yeah, we were kind of pulling from that UK sound too. So it was like this combination. But then people were like, yeah, we want like a straight up R&B version. So we're like, okay. So we threw that on there too.
You said Y2K inspired. I actually have, first of all, you're like one of the first guests that we've had on the podcast. And we've done this for like 6 years. Like, obviously, like we've had people who like, friends of mine love and stuff. But I know friends of mine like love your voice down. So you were one of the first people that I've actually texted friends. I was like, Tori Kelly is coming on the show. What do you want to ask her? And speaking of the Y2K, my friend Melanie Hunter wanted to know, since this album is Y2K inspired, she said, ask Tori, one influential pop girl album from the Y2K, which one's gotta go? Emancipation of Mimi, Full Moon, Brandy, Can't Take Me Home, Pink, or JoJo self-titled. One gotta go.
Ira, we ain't doing this.
Why would you do that to me? What a mean friend.
She is rude. She's also a
She's
Leo.
so rude.
She's also a Leo, so she's a terrorist.
Oh my goodness. Okay, wait. Which one has to go? You said Mimi.
Emancipation of Mimi, Full Moon, Can't Take Me Home, and JoJo self-titled.
Can't Take Me Home you said Pink?
Yeah.
Pink, that's with the sunglasses, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Looking pitiful.
Oh, and then JoJo, like her first album?
Yes.
Y'all, this is so hard.
You truly can't do this to her.
We truly can't. Which one's your favorite?
Which one my favorite? That's a way better question. I would say, I feel like Mariah, that album was so just iconic.
Mimi was truly emancipated.
Yeah, like that, because she obviously was Mariah Carey already at that point, but for me, and just maybe it's just my generation too, like something about when that album came out, I was like, whoa, like it was just, yeah, it kind of, I don't know, those songs really stuck with me.
Right, that's We Belong Together. That's
and
Shake It Off. Like,
isn't
it's like
also
that.
like Circles is on that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like there's some crazy ballads too.
Yes.
Like vocally, I think I was really inspired. Again, Mariah Carey was always Mariah Carey, so everyone was like, oh, best voice, whatever. But I think for me growing up, I like really studied those songs as a vocalist. Yeah, what's the other one? Circles, and then Mine. Maybe yes, yeah, that. I think that's my
some
choice.
Impromptu Tori Kelly vocals.
Yeah, I still try to hit those notes. That's a good like practice album when I'm like warming up and stuff. Yeah.
Well, because your voice and your instrument is so precise and so beautiful, whenever you want to have a song, like you said, that's inspired by like UK garage, as we're going to say, that's like the production's a bit more dancey, but like you still get to have fun vocally. Is that like a balancing act where you're like, I want to, I kind of want it like this, but also, because it's not a ballad. Like Missing You isn't a ballad.
For sure. Yeah, it's funny you say that because so I did this whole project with this amazing artist / writer / producer, Jon Bellion. And I've been a fan of his forever.
He's so good.
He's so dope. And I've been a fan of his art for a long time. People don't know that he's like behind a lot of crazy big hits right now. But he and I were chatting just what do we want this sound to be? And I really appreciated how he how do I say this? It's like he really appreciated my gift and my vocal ability, but he wasn't like, it wasn't this thing of like, oh, we got to have you like going crazy on every song and like just sing your face out. Like he was really focused also on what is a Tori Kelly like big song sound like or catchy song, like let's focus on the hooks and then kind of blend the two worlds together because I love so many different genres and I love singing my face off, but I also want to like let other people sing along. So it's kind of finding this balance of like, no, I don't want to just like sing all over this track. Like I want people to have fun and sing along with me. Cause I think at this point too, it's like, I've already shown that I'm a singer, it's like, I don't need it.
Say that, Tori Kelly. Talk your shit, Tori Kelly. I've already shown. That's right. 2 Grammys. We ain't playing games.
It's more just like, yeah, like what else can I do in my artistry? What else can I explore? And that side of me is not going anywhere. Like that's what was so fun about making these songs is like I still kind of had those little vocal moments, but they're just a little less in your face, I guess.
No, that's one of the best parts of a song that you're dancing to, and then you try to sing it in front of your friends. You go, "Oh, this is high." Oh, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Speaking of like vocals, you are like so good at like so many things, but like I love a vocal run, and and like we were talking about Mariah earlier. Like, what are some of your favorite vocal runs that you love performing?
Oh my goodness, of my own,
of your own, or like other songs that you've sung that you're like, ooh, I love doing that.
That's a good question. I mean, the first one that comes to mind, I don't even know if it's my favorite, but I love the reaction I get from it because it's become this run that I feel like I've been kind of known for, which is like the PYT run, I guess, where it's like I have to give my dad credit for that run too, because he always was challenging me to like reverse the runs. Like, you know how people go, like a lot of times we run like downwards, you know, like whatever. And then he was like, what if you flip it around and then it's like you're going up? The PYT run came from that. So shout out to Dad. But yeah, that one, I don't know. I make up. I feel like I make up runs all the time. That's the most fun part and what I'm looking forward to about just like touring again and stuff, because I feel like every show I get to sort of, you know, make up my own things and like, yeah, like I like when you can't predict what I'm gonna do. That I get a lot of joy out of that.
You talked about touring and you kind of talked about the aesthetic, well, the sonics of the album. So is the tour going to be early 2000s themed? Is there going to be, because we look at the art for Missing You, we look at, so we look at this kind of fun new area we're playing in that's familiar but also new. Like, do you have a favorite fashion component from the early 2000s, from early 2000s R&B? You talk about Craig David. So like, what's something you can't wait to see again? Metallics?
Metallics are a vibe. I wore like all metallic for my Y2K themed 30th birthday. So that was fun. It's all silver. I feel like bucket hats are definitely a vibe for me lately.
I wore my first bucket hat 4th of July weekend, and it's crazy because I always thought they looked crazy on my head, but I just put one on because it was hot. And like I was like, this is practical.
You look good in a bucket hat. I can picture it.
I was like, okay, the bucket hat is a vibe. And my friends, like by the end of the night, they were like, "Oh, you love that bucket hat.
Yeah.
Like you love it down."
Yeah. No, they're fun. Yeah, I mean, I had bucket hats as a kid, but I never thought I could pull it off, and now I have like a whole closet full of bucket hats. I'm obsessed. They're fun, especially on like bad hair days. And like, I'm just gonna throw this on.
The Y2K aesthetic is really just sort of like back in general. I mean, like, I'm sure you know the group Flow. You know, I just saw them do a concert in New York recently.
Me too. Wait, were we at the same show?
Oh, the New York show, the one at Webster Hall.
Yes, that was there. That's so funny. And I happened to be there. I was singing the anthem at a Knicks game, and then someone was like, "Oh my gosh, Flo's performing." I was like, "We're going."
I love them so much, and I'm friends with Emmy K, who has worked.
Oh,
with
I love him too.
Yeah.
Yes,
and so I love like the 2000 sound from that, and it was just like before the show too. It was like they were playing, you know, like all the 2000s jams, like Destiny's Child, you know, 3LW and stuff. And like the audience, and this is like full of like a lot of Gen Z people too, like just singing these songs down, and like they are
ready for this vibe. Because the old hymns still have power. Okay.
Yeah, that's facts. Yes.
My favorite part about it is that it's always celebratory. Like there is a fun element to that early 2000s sound. Not that we've completely gotten away from, but like even songs that were kind of sad, even songs where he was cheating, they were still kind of fun.
Yeah,
still dancing a little
That's
bit.
True. That's so true. Yeah, it's so interesting because I kind of have a theory that like it feels like every. Gosh, what year are we in? Yeah, like every 20 years, it feels like things kind of recycle in fashion, music. I don't know if that's just me, but I remember, I mean, even like when the 80s were kind of in, and then, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like maybe that 20-year thing there's something in that. But yeah, I love seeing it because me and my friends joke that like even the fashion and stuff now, it's almost like all of the things that we saw as kids, like looking up to, you know, the Lindsay Lohans and the just like the Paris Hiltons and the, you know, the it girls of that time, like Destiny's Child.
Did you have your navel out?
I didn't
Did you
as a
have your
kid.
navel out? Did you have your belly button out, young
No,
lady?
but like the fashion now, it's almost like we get to just like have fun with that stuff now because we were a little younger back then, but it's just like reliving all the best parts of Y2K and erasing the not good parts, I guess.
Like bullying?
Yeah, bullying, of course, never good. I was thinking more like I have a picture of myself in like capri pants. I'm like, no, capri.
Okay, let's talk. No, because you brought it up. What's the thing that you do not want to see come back?
I think capris. I think that's it for me. Ankles make me uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't want to see just my ankle.
Listen, I agree.
Unless it's shorts. Like shorts are fine because it's like intentional, but like,
I agree because you know what I hate? I hate like no-show socks.
Yeah.
Like just wear the crew sock or like no sock at all. Like the bare ankle. It's like not to be, like we're talking like I'm from Prohibition or something. Like ladies, don't show ankle. But
I know, it's not
like
that.
a flash of ankle. It's not sexy.
Cover it up. Cover it up, strumpet. Y'all are out here being wanton women. Exposed to ankles?
People right now are listening to this in capris, like really sad. Like, dang it. But it's weird because also like I love like the big baggy pant. I don't know if that was more 90s? I mean.
No, they were still big in the 2000s.
Yeah, the like Jenko jeans.
Yeah, like I'm into the baggy pants where it's at for me right now.
Well, dressing like Kim Possible. Big old pants, kind of tight, small shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We are all dressing like Kim Possible. That's so true.
We bring back beepers.
Yeah. Call me, bitch. Wanna be chill.
Oh.
So good.
Disney, don't get mad. Disney, it was not enough for us to get in trouble.
No. Way too fast.
So you're doing the R&B remix. Are we going to get like an R&B full album at some point? And also, when are we going to get like the full length live album? Like a Homecoming, like Ariana's. I was just recently listening to Ariana's live album yesterday, and I was like, this is so good. I need a new live albums from people.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list for sure. I feel like, yeah, I mean, ideally it's when you're on a tour, right? And you can just kind of record it that way. I've always wanted to do a live album. I actually think with this new music and, this is also just like the first part of, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's just an EP. Like, we've been waiting. And I'm like, this is really just the first taste and there's definitely more coming.
But also, folks, be grateful. Be grateful. What y'all doing being mean to Tori Kelly? Because she's giving y'all stuff.
Be grateful. Yeah, but yes, live album is like a dream of mine. Yeah, I would absolutely love to do that.
You also teased a song on Instagram.
I did.
What are you allowed to say?
Well, I forgot what I teased at this point because I feel like I've been dropping little hints like for a year.
It was I was just listening to it too.
Was it like me walking?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the EP.
Okay.
Yeah, because we announced the track list and everything, so it's 7 songs, including "Missing You" and the remix. I'm so excited because it really has been a long time since I've just been able to put out my own stuff. Like I did a Christmas album through COVID. It's like I've been doing stuff.
You did 2 movies where you sing your face off. Yeah.
Yeah, but like my own, original songs in this new style, in this new era, if you will, and just really exploring like, okay, how do I want this next, chapter to sound, or what do I want these songs to feel like for people and for myself, and really just stepping into more confidence as a woman, as an artist, like all of these things coming together. It just makes me even more excited for people to hear these songs because I think in a lot of ways it's a new fresh sound. Like for a lot of people I think will be like, whoa, this is so different for her, but then for me it feels a lot like simultaneously going back to my roots because this is all the type of music either that I was listening to as a kid or that I was literally recording as a kid, like kind of in and out of the industry. So it feels like even with the brown hair, it's like, this is like my natural color. So it's like going, it's like my roots, but also a new fresh.
Tori, not only do we love it, it is exactly what you described. You go, oh, I knew she could do this. I didn't know when she was going to do this, but I knew if she wanted to, she could handle this. So like this style, your voice fits so well. It's so, because like you said, like you have the talent, the skill, the precision, and the instrument to be able to do so many things. But to make a catchy, fun song that's also sung beautifully, that's a skill. So I'm very excited.
Thank you. Wow, thanks. That means a lot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like, I have been such a fan since the first time I heard Nobody Love. Okay?
Oh,
like, that
shoot, yeah.
I still, like, that song, I
The
hear
beginning
that
of that song.
That song, that is just like, that is anthem.
That's your song?
Yeah, it's anthem. And, you know, it's just like, when you hear, like, when the music builds in it, it's just, it's a perfect song. And I think that's what, like, that's when people start falling in love with you. And I'm so
Tori,
excited for the EP.
Yes, we're so and it's Ira's birthday gift. That's so sweet of you to give him that
Yes.
birthday present.
Yeah, happy early birthday. That's awesome. I love that. Just for you.
Yes, we were saying in the beginning of the episode too, like Jay's husband, like is a fan down
Yes. Oh,
of
my
yours.
goodness. Yes.
So-
When he found out that you were gonna be on the podcast, he was like, "Can I come?" I was like, "Baby, it's still Zoom. You don't have."
Can I go? Can I watch the screen? You gotta tell him I said hi though. That's so sweet.
I will. Yeah, his name is Garrison. He's a huge fan.
Hi Garrison. Shout out.
You have been the sweetest. This is such a delight. Thank you for being here, Tori.
Aw, y'all too. Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
So the Emmy nominations were announced last week, and I hope you like Succession and White Lotus. Because that's all you got nominated this year. There were still some surprises and snubs, but damn, HBO, Last of Us 2.
Last of Us for a bottle episode.
Yeah.
This is what I'll say. I love the fact that queer storytelling is at the forefront, and by queer storytelling, of course, I'm talking about Succession. And then no, it's y'all. The TVs were on Sunday. A lot of Sunday night. The voters were watching. You know, you can watch the rest of the week as well. People know some notable snubs. People talked about P-Valley. People also talked about how this is so. They talked about how like you don't have to nominate the entire cast of a show. You can just pick your favorites.
So this is really the thing, because like I love Succession down.
Yes,
I love it down, but. And I also always get that, like, you know, like the last season of a show usually racks up a lot of nominations. You know, it's why, like, Sarah Jessica Parker has, you know, like her Sex and the City Emmy for, like, the last season. You know, people are finally like, we ignored you for a few years. Let's give you something.
We're talking about 5-season shows. Those were like 8.
Succession had got a bunch of Emmys last year.
Yes.
This is the last season. I expected some Emmy nominations, but, baby, not everybody was, you know, showing out this season to where, like, I'm sorry, why is Nicholas Braun nominated? Cousin Greg,
be
what did
careful.
Cousin Greg do this season?
You can't go back to Brooklyn. You can't go to a dive bar in Brooklyn. You better watch out. You better watch out.
I have his number. He has mine. If he mad, he can text me.
I mean, I think he's nominated because of the scene when he told the secret. Maybe that's what the voters saw. They're like, that's a scene.
I love Nicholas Braun. Okay,
Yes.
Sky High, chef's kiss, excellent acting, and
Sky
honestly,
High.
like he was one of my favorite parts of Zola. He was showing out in that damn movie. He was showing out in that movie. Okay,
that's where we need to see him more.
Right.
We need to see him in shit like that. That's actually a very good point.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, also because of the strike, y'all ain't seen him in shit. But
you sure won't.
but whenever the strike is over, think about that.
Put him in more like indie shit with like opposite black people.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where he's comfortable.
Well, because he's uncomfortable. Okay.
Yes. It's giving like awkward, like like the white people who'd be in UPN shows.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Bullethead from the Steve Harvey Show.
Bullethead and Lori Beth Denberg.
Yes.
Lori Beth. We got all the way back to Mr. Hightower. Ooh,
but that is just to say that, like, you look at these nominations and it is just, it's giving lazy, it's giving payola, it's giving attenzione pickpocket.
Which, shout out to White Lotus. Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
because here are these nominations for, like, outstanding supporting actor in a drama series. As I said, Nicholas Braun, Succession. Matthew McFadden, Succession. Alan Ruck, Succession. Alexander Skarsgård, Succession. Will Sharp, White Lotus. Theo James, White Lotus.
Yes.
For showing the dick.
the prosthetic
The
is
prosthetic
nominated.
dick, yes. F. Murray Abraham, The White Lotus. What is going on? What is going on?
That's also the category because Tyler James Williams is nominated in the comedy in the comedy adjacent category for that one. But is that one? There's only one person of color in that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In outstanding supporting actor in a comedy series, you got that one is a little bit more like comedy. The nominations are a bit more loose.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Like for comedy, you've got like Anthony Carrigan for Barry. You know, Phil Dunster for Ted Lasso. Brett Goldstein, Ted Lasso. James Marsden for Jury Duty. Which yes. Yeah.
When I first saw James Marsden acting that silly in Jury Duty, I felt so happy. I was so happy. I was so happy when he talked about being Cyclops, because as a nerd, I was like, you better talk about it. You better brag about that. I love you as Courtney Collins too, boo-boo, but come on, we know who was buttering your bread.
And like lead actor, you've got Bill Hader, Jason Segel, Martin Short, Jason Sudeikis, Jeremy Allen White. Like in lead actress. You got Christina Applegate, Rachel Brosnahan, Quinta, Natasha Lyonne, Jenna Ortega for Wednesday.
Yes.
Lewis had a very funny tweet where he was like, she was snubbed for writing.
And if you're fun, Wednesday Addams, you'll laugh at that tweet. You won't get mad about it.
I feel like she would find that funny.
She better.
Okay, she sat down with the president of Netflix and she said, I'm going to make history. And that's what this is. But like comedy, the voters are watching comedy.
Yeah.
Like,
different
the comedies,
streamers
like there's different
over.
streamers,
Network.
and like, first of all, like Abbott's really the only network comedy I would nominate too. It's the only one I'm watching. Since Big Bang Theory went off the air, it's the only network comedy that I watch.
People love Grand Crew and American Auto. I'm not paid by NBC Universal.
I did love Grand Crew.
I love Grand Crew. Unfortunately,
American Auto seemed too much like a show that would air after Night Court original, so I unfortunately have not watched it.
But network comedies, the reason this is important, y'all, listen, we just talked about it, because guess what? The way the network contracts are set up, those people can still get good residuals for re-airing. And she's going to re-air this fall. So a diversity of media is helpful to all of us, but only if everyone is also getting treated fairly. That's part of what we're discussing. But also, when it comes to drama, voters, Emmy voters, and I know some of y'all, watch a bunch of stuff. Watch a bunch of stuff. Okay, boo-boo?
Right. And it's so weird because it's like, do the ratings reflect like this? It feels like we'll talk about these. We'll never know. But like, well, sometimes HBO, the ratings up. But like, these show and HBO, like the residuals must be set up different than residuals must be set up different than streaming. I don't know HBO residuals because I have not earned an HBO check. I would love one.
I'm not gonna be that girl, but you keep dead naming her, and I don't like it. Now,
Max,
listen,
Max, I'm sorry, Max.
I'm saying this with love. I gave you a couple opportunities. Hello. Yes, glad we got him. It's handled.
Max, what are Max's pronouns?
You said it, Pay and Ola. I did get to talk to Megan Fahey, and I think she's wonderful as Daphne and amazing. I don't vote, but like you talk about someone who made me go, what the God, okay, shit.
Yeah.
That's some acting. But also, I think categories are so stacked now also because Emmy nominees, you get to have a long list. Because
there's a lot of shit on TV, but it's also like there doesn't seem to be a lot of shit on TV because like voters for drama are only watching one thing.
Yeah.
And like that annoys me too because I'm like I watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
And like the TV I grew up on too.
You watch a lot of TV.
Right. And I kind of miss I don't know. I would, aside from like residuals and like the like SAG-AFTRA like Writers Guild shit, you know, like I want network TV to get its lick back.
Ooh.
Okay? Like you remember the era of like Lost, Desperate Housewives, West Wing.
Yes.
Okay? Like NYPD Blue, like Good Wife, like this shit was being nominated for Emmys.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Who is like watching, like is there are no, aside from like Abbott Elementary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like who is really talking about network TV anymore? It's all just like different versions of CSI or like 911,
Yeah,
911 Lodestar shit. Like where is the shit that I want to watch the dramas?
You were there for CSI The Pines a couple weeks ago, right?
Oh.
With the chicken
The chicken tender. People being airlifted out because they did too much G.
Oh no! I was there one weekend and someone did drown in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be happening out there. Mike White,
make
a show about that.
You know what crime needs to be solved?
What?
This could be a keep. It's an early keep it. Middle T.
Wow.
Middle T on Fire Island Pines. You know they are charging for that shit now? Charging for Middle T. You don't get the fuck out of here.
But here's the wild part. Can't we just congregate right outside?
Yes.
You could just
You can stay at Low T.
Right
well, no,
there.
they do stop selling after a certain bit because they want to force you to go up in there. But it's like, well, then how about you get a better DJ?
Oh,
Okay? I don't want to hear another remix of MacArthur's Park. I want to hear Pound Town.
Play some hoe music, okay? We need a little hoe section. We stop playing all this damn caftan music. You play some you play some hits. Girl, this is the second time you played The Boss, and I love The Boss. But
Right.
come on now.
I mean, fancy me. I thought I had my degree in love. I have a painting, vintage again, literally vintage painting of Diana Ross from like 1986 hanging in my apartment.
Beautiful. We love it.
Yeah.
But also, this is proof. You can listen to Diana Ross and love Diana Ross, but still also want to hear Sexy Red.
Yes.
Come on now.
Okay?
We aren't dead, y'all.
Blackness is, a cornucopia.
It's ever changing, ever moving, ever evolving. Also, when you talk about network TV, when you bring up Abbott, what I love about it, and I say this every time I even hear mention of it, it's such a sneaky, fun, black, female-focused show. Because you're like, no, it's just about school teachers.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? In America, you know who's teaching a lot of y'all's kids in public schools? Black women.
Sure
So
are.
that's what the show's gonna be a motherfucking about. It's like, I love it.
But it's like, where is the sneaky, show that's about something that's also entertaining to watch in like a drama on network
Yes.
TV? I would love a good network drama to air again.
Yes.
Okay? And, it's not like the voters would watch it, but I'm not caring
think
about the
they
fucking
would.
voters. They would. But it's like, it's also.
I think they would, and then there would be tons of articles like, can you believe that this show that's well written in a good time slot is doing well?
I know. But like, do networks want that shit?
I
It's
don't
like
know.
maybe that like you would think seeing these Emmys they'd be like, like network would be like, well, why the fuck are we even airing the Emmys anymore? Like we don't get nominated for shit.
And it rotates. Yeah.
But bring back network TV.
Yes.
Bring back network TV. Because like on all these streaming shows, it's like, first of all, the way like stuff is being, puritanical and editing the sex and shit out anyway of like shows. It's like, it's not like there's much difference between what's on streaming or cable versus what could be on network TV. But it's just like network TV is just a lot of whack shows.
And you're
It's a lot of whack shows.
And you're making a very good point because you're like, if you're already going to sanitize the sex and the language, you might as well just put it on network and have kind of, I guess, like what they do with Abbott and a few other ABC shows, and then air it on your connected streamer.
Ooh,
Don't.
Well, like also, like Bravo, where like they'll air like Vanderpump Rules or something, and then air like an uncensored version on Peacock the next day. That's
yes.
fun. But also, like, if you're already then you're gonna put, because of the strike, CBS, like Viacom, you're gonna put Yellowstone on CBS. Well, why wasn't Yellowstone on CBS in the first place?
Exactly. Especially with the target demographic of Yellowstone, with all those centrists and those DeSantis voters.
Right? They eat that shit up.
Baby,
wait,
you want them
all
back.
those DeSantis voters? That nigga ain't got no votes. You remember people were like, oh, wow, DeSantis' America is coming. You're scared of Trump. You should be scared of DeSantis. Scared of who?
It is funny.
Scared of who?
It is funny
He
that...
was like, don't say gay. That's going to take me all the way to the White House. And then people were like, bitch, we gay. So...
And he put out a video that was like, can you believe Trump said all this pro-gay stuff? And we were like, wait a second. Trump? Ron, don't make me say I kind of like Donald. What are you doing? What are you doing? Also, it's so odd to see Ron DeSantis do a Trump impression for 3 years and then be like, plus, I hate that guy. No, you don't. That's your daddy, okay?
Ooh.
For real. You imitated him. You imitated his hand gestures. You gesticulated like him, and now the minute that you think you have some chance at actually being the nominee for the party, you go, oh, I don't like him? Girl, you lying. It looks silly.
He's a clown.
Well, I mean, he's also just he's a climber. He's like, maybe I could be president, and everyone's like, no. He's like, that's cute, but no.
Any last words on the Emmys? You are nominated, so congrats.
Oh, thank you.
Congrats.
The show, The Problem with Jon Stewart, is nominated. I hope that the writers and I hope the WGA and SAG-AFTRA secure a fair deal, and then we can talk about celebrating achievements for these studios, because they put out all these FYCs for these shows that they love so much.
Because ain't no Emmys happening.
Not on the timetable that it currently is scheduled for. So just know this. If you appreciate the work, appreciate the crafters who made it, both the actors and the writers, and everyone else involved in making these shows that you get to say, oh, look at this new shiny gem in my collection.
And stop doing bullshit like news reports where it's like, this cleaning lady at the studio was laid off. Now she's collecting bottles on the street to pay her bills. It's like, but you can pay her, studio.
Yes.
You're firing her to try to create a news story to make us look like the villains. But you are the villain.
And it's even bigger. It's them going, can you believe that these actors and writers are so selfish that they're going to wreck LA's economy? And you go, girl, they are LA's economy.
Yes.
What are you talking about? They're connected. They're not apart from it and above it.
Also, why are you cutting? They're like cutting the trees. Cutting trees too.
Listen.
In LA, like, so there's no shade on like 91-degree days while people are striking.
Me and Ira would be okay. Some of these writers will develop melanoma very quickly. They have not seen the outside.
Ugh.
Listen, I mean this literally and figuratively. Me and Ira, we outside. Take that however you want to take it. These people have not been. Give them some shade.
The sun is mighty bright. Okay? And white people in the sun, the leading cause of death is melanoma.
I get so that the other thing that like concerning the strike and the Emmys is that like everyone had such a mixed reaction when celebrating last week. Everyone was like, yay!
Mostly because writers were already striking for 11 weeks, so they're broke.
Yeah.
Thank you for the Emmy nomination. Can you send some groceries?
Well, I mean, I'll be super honest. As a writer who does stand-up, I was like, thank you so much for nominating The Problem with Jon Stewart. We have such an amazing team. You can catch me this weekend at Zany Chicago, August 17th through 19th. You know, literally everything is just a pivot back to people getting tickets to see me live so I can keep affording to buy these stupid New Balances.
You know, I'm launching a live comedy show.
Well, guess what? I heard a rumor that I might be on that show.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Keep it fans.
That's how you get booked now, huh? cornering me on my own podcast. No, you know what? Like, I need to be in this. I'm in New York. I need to be in the streets.
Be in the streets. We saw each other at Lucas's show. That was so much fun.
Lucas Timms,
yes,
who's also worked on The Problem with Jon Stewart.
Very, an amazing member of the Problem with Jon Stewart talent team, Lucas, who produced a show in New York. And this is actually very funny because I said, I keep seeing you. And Ira said, I live here. And I said, girl, quit playing. And you went, I've been here, Jay. I said, Ira, you are so silly. You don't live in New York. You are famous for not living here. That's not what you do.
I'm like Dua Lipa. I'm never home.
Ooh, speaking of Dua Lipa is home now. Imagine being on the road for 3 years and people are celebrating you finally chilling in your house. She's Odysseus. Do you get it? My favorite part about Dua Lipa is she said something that I will never forget. If you don't want to see me having a good time, don't go out.
Yeah.
Don't go out.
If you don't want to see me dancing with somebody, don't come out.
Dancing with somebody, baby, pluck your eyeballs out of your head. Don't go out, because you're going to see me.
Just like Dua Lipa, I am in the streets. And stay tuned. I will be in the streets soon, because, like, what else am I going to do? I'm going to start a live comedy show.
You certainly can't write or act in nothing.
Yeah. Ira live coming soon. Anyway, when we're back, it's our favorite segment of the episode, Keep It. And knowing Jay, he got a good one. Mm-hmm. And we are back with our favorite segment of the episode. It is Keep It. As the guest of honor, Jay, what is your Keep It?
My Keep It, TikTok lives. Keep it.
Why are you coming for my girl Pinky, dog?
Listen, I love Pinky, and I love I've truly never seen a black Quebecois. I've been to Montreal 2 summers now. I thought it was just me, but shout out. She's also a mother. She is a mother.
Wait, she's mothering?
She's correcting somebody's baby off camera in one of those videos. She was like, "Why are you not in bed? Little man, why are you not in bed?" The reason I'm saying keep it TikTok lives is like, she's a professional. She's got this shit under wraps. Now everyone else is trying to do it, and now something insidious has occurred. And I say this as a person who has seen it happen. They are letting you make videos and then sending stuff that you have to react to, and they are making fun of you. They're sending black people fried chicken.
Yes.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I saw somebody do a live and they were like, oh, thank you. Yes, I'm a fatty. And I was like, what? Why are you insulting yourself for coins?
Yeah.
Watch Bamboozled.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that people are wanting to do it. I don't like the dystopian nature of the economic plight of our society is now that people are trying to do it. Let the professionals do it. Let the sexy anime girls with cat ears do it. Their rooms are set up for it. Their lighting, they have enough outfits. Y'all can't do it. You can't do it like Pinky. Don't try it, okay? Keep it. I don't want to see, if I see someone I know and love doing this, I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police. I'm also calling CPS. I'm calling some sort of intervention services to get you away from your phone because you need help.
Yeah, like cooning for coins is bad enough, but like cooning for TikTok coins, because you have to work. I don't know if you know how like TikTok lives work. You know, like people pay, you pay to send like little gifts, and then you get a but like TikTok takes like half of it.
That's the
basically
thing.
So like you have to work. Like this Pinky Doll girl who's like become very successful online lately, like she's doing, like these reactions. Like, first of all, Timbaland is her like number one donor, which is weird because she's 19.
But that's some old some old man shit.
That's old man shit. He's watching it.
Timbaland definitely.
He's just looking for the next Nelly Furtado. Okay, he's like, the next Aaliyah? Like, can she sing? Are there vocals?
Timbaland is at that age where if he sees you post a swimsuit picture on the beach, his comment is, "So beautiful, my dear." You have grown into such a beautiful woman. And he'll sign it. He'll sign the Instagram comment.
So you know it's him. Oh, thank you, Timbaland. Ice cream, so good. Slurp, slurp.
Oh, no.
Pop, pop, pop. Gang, gang. Anyway, but like she has to do that for so long even to earn some damn money. She has a lot of subscribers.
Yes.
But like, ooh, bless anybody who can sit there and like monotonously do that forever. Because like some of us got ADD.
And
I could not even with me doing lines of Vyvanse, okay? Like, it's not happening.
And this is also us being, I'm, in this regard, I'm old, I'm conservative, I'm part of, like, traditional media. It's not for me. But you know who else is not for? A lot of y'all. So just know that. This is like, I mean, I don't want to liken it to OnlyFans work because it is a bit different. But a lot of y'all truly don't understand the amount of work, care, precision, and intention that goes behind having a digital front-facing presence that makes you money. Girl, this is work. It's work, okay? So, like, don't just hop on there. Don't just hop on TikTok Live. If you just want to have a fun little TikTok Live, fine. But don't be ooh, spicy. You know what? I take it back. Maybe I should do it.
I'd pay.
I would do mine in my underwear. You gotta have there needs to be some angles.
You know what? I think there's an audience for that.
Okay, I'm getting in my drawers.
The people want to see it.
In my drawers. Listen, writers on strike, actors on strike. The Dangalang is not on strike.
Okay.
What's your keep it?
I have like a two-pronged keep it.
Ooh, okay. Double-ended.
Mine goes, first of all, to, and this is, I'm sorry I had to attack the theater, but Theater for a New Audience in New York City.
Okay.
I just recently saw a revival of Orpheus Descending by Tennessee Williams.
All right.
Not every Tennessee Williams play needs to be revived. Let me tell you something. It was not a good play. It is not a good play, okay?
You don't want to see 27 wagons full of cotton again?
Okay, I mean, listen, I thought we were scraping the bottom of the barrel when I saw, like, the milk train doesn't run here anymore by, like, Roundabout years ago. This was not good, okay? It was not good. It's not a good play, but I do have something else to say, though.
Okay.
This is Theater for a New Audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
I assume, that means, like revivals of plays, like for like new audiences to see them. But the audience isn't new. The audience is just old as white people. And I have never met a more hostile audience than an audience that I was sitting in. First of all, there was this woman in front of me who like was undoing her like curly ass hair.
No,
it was like playing with it like during the show, laying her like nasty curls all over my legs, like it was a blanket. Awareness. But meanwhile, she like looked back at me when I was like sipping my drink, like, ooh, I'm making noise. I'm like, ma'am, your hair is on my leg. And it was my bare leg too, because it's hot as hell in New York City. Okay. So I was wearing shorts. Her
to the theater?
Yes. Yes. I made it, and I like you're laughing at it. You're supposed to be participating in it. The playbill says participate.
Yes.
Or I'm laughing, like I whisper something like to my friend Juan, who I'm watching the play with, and this like Amy Mann looking heifer, like like to the side of me, like turns back and gives me a look too. Like several times, like when I'm laughing or reacting to the show, and I'm like, well, this is hostile.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I don't want to sit there like a boring white person and watch this Tennessee Williams show and act like I am an audience from 1957.
Also,
okay, where I wasn't allowed in the show. It reminds me of when I saw a slave play and was like laughing at some jokes, and this older white couple like gave me like a look. And I'm like, why are you even here? This isn't for you. I actually snapped back at them at that moment because I was like, I was laughing at a joke, and they gave me like a dirty look, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Here's the wild part. That is such a weird new thing over the past 20 years that now people are like, they view theater as if it's a museum piece.
Yes.
There's this weird veneration and sort of like pedestal placement of theater, which is live and ephemeral, but also interactive to varying degrees. if there's a joke, if there's a humorous situation happening on stage, if someone laughs and you look at them for laughing, girl, you need to be looking on stage and see why they're laughing.
Right.
That is so weird to me.
There should be call and response in good theater.
Yes. Yes, 100%. It's the start of theater, the dithyrambic chorus that's been stepped out. Like the weirdest part for me when I hear about stories like this is I'm like, well, girl, why didn't you just read about the play?
Yeah.
Just
sit at home and read, the collected Tennessee Williams, okay?
Yes.
Why are you bothering me to come and see this?
Also, because Ira didn't like it, you're attacking a queer playwright?
Right.
Oh my gosh, Ira.
I really didn't like that part. But that brings me to also just like disrespect towards audience members in general. Because I don't know if you saw this video of Miranda Lambert singing at her concert. Did you see this video?
Listen.
She was on stage at her concert,
Girl.
and two fans are taking a selfie, and she stops them, singles them out, rude as hell, like, y'all are taking a selfie, you can't hear my song, I'm here to sing some damn country music. It's like, first of all, taking a selfie does not mean you can't hear. I can hear the song.
Mm-hmm.
Also, be lucky people are coming to see your damn show, girl.
Because if people said it, and I'll say it, Gwen wouldn't have yelled at them.
Sure wouldn't have.
Well, I'ma just say
okay, Gwen would have been like, super kawaii, I love selfies.
No! Oh, not the Harajuku bag. Oh, God.
And it reminds me that Miranda Lambert is still friends with Jason Aldean.
Ooh.
Jason Aldean, first of all, we know Jason Aldean has a trash, homophobic, transphobic wife who Maren Morris is always getting up in that ass. And I love Maren Morris for it. But
We
Jason
love Maren
Aldean also has a new song out. Like, the country people are trash this week. His new song out called Try That in a Small Town, which basically has like the lyrics, got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're going to round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck. Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. It's basically lynching music.
Now, here's the crazy, and what's the other crazy
Which is
part?
also what Orpheus Descending's about. To tie it all back in.
But what's the crazy part about Jason Aldean? Jason Aldean is being very cavalier about shootings when he had a shooting happen at his concert.
The Las Vegas shooting.
Yes, the Las Vegas shooting. That's insane to be that careless and that kind of like nonchalant.
Also, why are you making sundown music in 2023?
Well, he saw
like, stay out of our small town. Who do you want to stay out?
He saw
the niggas?
He saw Morgan Wallen. He said, okay. He said, I can do you one better. Okay.
Right. All Morgan Wallen said was nigga. And, like, he has been at the top of the charts. Okay? He is, baby... Taylor Swift is shook. She was like, Taylor Swift and Drake are shook. They're like, we thought we were the ones who dominated the charts, okay? It's just like the people with the most number ones on the Hot 100 ever are like Taylor Swift, Drake, and the cast of Glee.
Here's the craziest part about Morgan Wallen. Right, isn't he on doctor's orders not to sing right now? He's like on vocal rest and crushing it. Oh, girl. I mean... Drake did not bring him out at the concert last night. Thank God.
But Drake, with Morgan Wallen and all these number ones, you think Drake gonna have like a country era next? he's like, you know what? He's like, he's tired of Jamaican accents.
No.
He's tired of, like being British,
Girl, my favorite Drake.
So tired of patois. He's gonna have a country twang next album. I want to hear a Drake country album.
Listen, honestly, never mind. I love faggoty Drake. You give me a little bit of faggot.
Oh, of course. Drake wrote Heated. You knew that, right?
I've heard the reference track, and yes, I know Drake wrote "Heated," which also is like Drake being like saying, "I'm just as petty as you are, girl.
I'm just as petty as you are,
girl. Come on,
only the radio can play me.
Come on, Aubrey. Yes, Aubrey.
Only the radio can play me. That is the sassiest lie Drake has ever written.
Drake said that to a girl that didn't text him back once. Girl, I don't know who you think you're playing with, but only the radio can play me, boo boo. Okay. Now check that. You must think I'm one of these other rappers. That's not who I am.
Anyway.
No. I love the idea of Drake hearing Beyonce do Heat It and be like, I'm gonna need it to be a little bit more pussy. You need to step it up a little bit. Now, girl, what's going on, Beyonce? Okay, it's like Lil Yachty writing City Girls.
Yes.
Now, JT,
I heard your little brother want to fuck on me.
Now, JT, when you get in there, listen.
All right. Anyway, that is our show this week. Thank you to Tori Kelly for being here. And Jurden, thank you for being here. You are on tour.
Yes,
very
I
soon.
am on tour. I have the kind of tour. I'll be going all over the country. I'll be in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'll be in Birmingham. Speaking of sundown towns. No, I'm kidding. I love Alabama. I'll be in Chicago.
Jason Aldean gonna be waiting for you there.
As long as he brings his fans, come on. I'll be in Toronto. I'll be in Grand Rapids. I'll be in Houston. You go to my website, go to my social media. Really go.
Which is jjurden.com?
jjurden.com, at jjurden on all social media. You can find the tour dates and tickets, and maybe some secret shows in New York are coming up. I have one that's sold out on the 21st, but then who knows?
And I will not be in the country, otherwise I would go.
Ira does have a reserved
once
ticket.
Again, I'm Dua
sorry.
Lipa. I will be gone. Also, to let you all know, we're switching it up.
Yes?
Next week, I will be gone. And Lewis will be here with a guest co-host. Because I can't stay home. Bitches don't know how to stay home.
Can I tell you something? Ira just said he was out of the country. And I want you to know, before this podcast started, Ira said, I can't do this next week. I'm going to Colombia. And I was like, girl, I live in Harlem too. What are you talking about? I was just up there. But now I understand.
First of all, I went to Tisch. Don't you ever imply that I would set foot on Columbia's campus.
So he's going out of the country. He's getting flued out.
I'm joining the cartel. Okay,
No.
I'm gonna come back, mafia papa. Okay.
No illegal activities are going on. We're behaving. He's behaving himself.
All right, that's our show. Lewis, we'll see you next week.